Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope we're all having a great day today. So in this video I would like to focus on Twitch, and more importantly the changes that she's recently had and how I would personally change her once again to make her more of a balanced operator. Now I feel like Twitch right now is going through the process that Glaz went through. Granted that it is not as severe as what Glaz went through, because Glaz went from being extremely overpowered to being extremely weak to being buffed once more to being overpowered again, and then he was put to the lowest point in this game. He had a lower pick rate than Tachanka had. This was I think this was around Ember Rise time or Phantom Sight, and yeah, he had the lowest pick rate in the game out of any operator, and now they've kind of juggled him back to where right now I think he's in a very good state. You still have to stand still to look for the smoke, but you can still have the thermal on constantly. It's got the high fire rate, it's got the good damage, so I think Glaz right now is in a very good state. I think Ubisoft should just never touch Glaz again, because it's proven that he's very difficult to balance and he's fine in the state he is in right now, in my opinion. But it looks like Twitch is going through this same stage, and like I said, not as severe as Glaz. I don't think Twitch is going to become to the point where she's going to have the lowest pick rate on attack and in the game overall, but she does unfortunately seem to be having some balancing issues. Now I'm going to show you the win delta graph from mid-season in Shifting Tides. Now this is a full season ago, at the mid-season that we had for Year 4 Season 4, and Twitch was in the overpicked and the too strong category. Now for the release of Operation Void Edge, they actually made the recoil on Twitch's F2 a lot harder to control and a lot more random, and they also reworked the Twitch drone. Now I wouldn't say the rework of the Twitch drone affects this pick rate. The Twitch drone is still extremely very good. Some could say that the rework of the Twitch drone actually was a buff now, because you can shoot faster with it. Granted, it only does 1 HP to people now rather than doing 10, and you could say that as a nerf, but it still gets the jobs done, it still gets the gadgets, it gets the gadgets faster, and it's got unlimited ammo, but you just need to wait for it to charge up. So if you are very smart with Twitch, you use it very productively and efficiently, you could say that the rework was a buff. However, you cannot defend that the F2 recoil nerf was a significant nerf. I used to play Twitch a heck of a lot last season. I'd get called out by my friends for using the F2 purely just because how good it was. It was seen as a crutch weapon, and it was an extremely good weapon. It had extremely good hip fire. Even when going into ADS, you would hit a large amount of shots. The gun was just insane. It was definitely my favourite gun last season. I can't deny that I loved using Twitch last season purely because of that gun. She was probably my most played attacker last season, and now I don't think I've touched Twitch more than twice this season, and it isn't because I can't control the no recoil. I just feel like it would be a burden bringing Twitch for me. There's other operators that does her job with better weapons currently, in my opinion. The problem with Thatcher being banned a lot is bringing more Maverick plays, in my opinion, and most of my friends are very good with Maverick, so I guess this just comes down to who I play with, and I've got a lot of good Maverick players I play with. So if Thatcher's banned, they'll say, oh, that's okay, I'll just go Maverick, so there's no need for me to go Twitch anymore. And maybe that is the reason, but Twitch now, from the recent win delta graph, we can see that she is now in the underpicked in the 2 week section. And although this is underpicked and too weak, she is actually one of the closest operators to being fully balanced, as you can see, because the fully balanced part is where those two lines meet. So Twitch is almost fully balanced in this game. Now maybe what I'm trying to propose to get her even closer into the middle would just take that way, of course, and I'm just wrong, and maybe Twitch is fine where she is right now, or maybe what I'm proposing should be used on a different operator and not Twitch. But one thing that I think gets really slept on this game and does not get utilized enough is that on certain weapons you can change the bullets, so you can go from a fully automatic to a 3 burst to a single fire. And if you've got a gun extremely overpowered, like the F2 was, I feel like a better change, instead of making the recoil, instead of nerfing the recoil to the point where only extremely good players would choose to use it, because I know a lot of people even before this recent nerf just didn't want to use the F2 purely because of the recoil pattern, and I understand that. I didn't really have an issue with it, but I understand it. A lot of people were having an issue, and they just didn't want to use a weapon because of it. And I think maybe this recent nerf did go somewhat far for a majority of the players, and I personally don't really want to play Twitch much anymore. I think an interesting change would be make this gun permanently 3 burst. Now, this is crazy. They've not done this to any weapon before in the game. Granted, for Clash's SMG, they did make that weapon fully automatic, and it was originally like a 3 burst, I believe, at launch. It was definitely a burst SMG at launch, but now I think at this stage, when balancing is becoming harder and there's so many different parts of this game and different operators, we need to look at new methods of balancing guns, and it can't just be giving it more recoil, taking away the ACOG and making it do less damage. I feel like if we changed the bullets and how the different modes in this game could be incorporated, because I'll be one to say I never change my bullet options in this game. I always just have it on default of what the gun is meant to be. So the F2, it isn't unwise for weapons like these to be burst weapons. Plenty of games have this gun as a burst weapon, and I think it would be very interesting to see this as a burst weapon. We don't have any burst weapons in the game right now, but you can change it to burst right now, but that is a very rare occasion. You'll never really see anyone using it in burst mode, and I just think this would be an interesting balance and change. Maybe not for Twitch at this point, because she seems to be one of the most balanced ups in the game, but if we're starting to see a trend with guns that aren't really fitting into the balancing and they're just extremely overpowered, then maybe we should start looking at different methods like this. But I recommend just trying the F2 with the 3 burst mode. If they were to change it, I think they should revert to the older recoil and then put it in 3 burst mode. But even right now, when you're playing this game, if you're struggling to use the F2, try it in 3 burst mode. It is actually extremely fun to use and extremely different, and it isn't as hard if you're struggling with the fully automatic. But that is just all I want to talk about. It was a kind of weird balance and change that I thought that they could do. I feel like, once again, this is an option that is really slept upon in Siege and doesn't really get used as much as anything else when it comes to balancing. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm going to end this video here. Be sure to like, subscribe, and check me out on Instagram and Twitter in the links below. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Be sure to leave your thoughts. Catch you later.